welcome back. Here's another video from me. Planning for it to be another 30-minute-ish workout video where we're using perhaps kettlebells, exercise balls, medicine balls, bands. If you have a band, you can use just a block. You don't have to use any weight at all. All of this can be body weight or just having something to hold on to help you engage your core a little bit better. And of course, the trusty Campbell soup cans. These weigh nothing. So maybe get the family size Campbell soup cans or 2 water bottles or something. So again, I'm going to go over form as best as I can so that you are doing all of this stuff correctly. I see that I have some light coming in here, a little angelic. But anyway, okay, so we're going to start just with a warm-up, just kind of getting our body warmed up. So I'm just going to do a little bit of kind of like a baby squat or a little bounce in my legs as I swing my arms out to the side, getting the shoulders and the hips and the legs warmed up especially. And I'm going to bring my hands to my thighs and step your feet out a little bit wider and arch your back. So taking a back bend, a cow shape with your spine. And then as you exhale, cat shape with the spine round, tuck the chin, stretch the back. And again, inhale. Perfect timing for someone's car alarm to start going off. And do that one more time. Inhale into extension. And exhale into flexion. And then push into your feet and come all the way up. And bring your arms back down by your side. So I'm going to do a little lunge and with an arm raise. So the leg that steps back, that same arm is going to lift up and right side. So from the front, looks like this. So what I'm really working on doing is kind of getting a nice stretch down that whole front side line of the body. And you might bend back a little bit deeper, hip flexor, getting into that. Active warm-ups are always the best. Moving, stretching at the same time, muscular engagement. All right, I'm going to do one more. All right, so now I'm going to do another squat, air squat. I'm going to add a side leg to get that outer hip warmed up. So I'm going to squat and extend my leg out to the side. So I keep going. A lot of times I'll stop and talk, and I want you to typically to keep moving. So when your leg is coming out to the side, turn your toes in slightly. So there's a little bit of internal rotation of that leg. Remember with your squats, you want the knees behind the toes. Working with very limited space here. All right. Okay, so let's come down just to warm up the upper body a little bit more, the core as well. We'll do some push-ups from the knees or from the toes. So just basic push-ups, making sure that your form is perfect here. So what I see happen a lot of times is this, where the chest collapses. So you want to actually kind of push your hands into the floor, and you almost feel like you're rounding through your upper back a bit. So it feels like the shoulder blades are kind of spreading out and wrapping themselves around towards your chest. And then you want to try to hold them there as you lower and lift, and then also the belly. So the other thing I see a lot is this. So can you keep your belly pulled up and in as you lower down and up? So only go as low as you can without the belly dropping and without the chest dropping. So something else you can do, keep going, is you can do push-ups on a wall. It's really hard for me to show you this because can't really do it from the side. But basically you would go up to a wall and same thing. And that's going to be less stress on the shoulders and the neck and all that. So go ahead and come on up. And the last thing we're going to do for our warm-up is a back kick. We're going to be doing some side kicks as well today. So warming up the glutes and the hamstrings. So from the side, this is going to be my starting position and my staying position as I kick back. So I'm going to pick up my leg. I'm going to pick up the knee first and then kick back through the heel. Okay, so something that's good to think about is imagining kicking in a door behind you. So put a little power into it. The other thing I see here that people do is this. Too much extension in the spine. So notice how my spine stays straight. I stay bent forward. And my hips stay really steady as well as I kick. So I'm isolating the glutes and the hamstrings. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. All right. Hopefully you feel pretty warmed up. We're going to start with a chest press, a single arm chest press on an exercise ball. The other thing you can do is lay across a bench or a chair, and you can do these on the floor as well. You won't get quite as much range of motion. And I will show you with my lighter kettlebell. Unfortunately, I stole these kettlebells from my yoga studio. Well, I borrowed them. And I only grabbed 2. And I need one a little lighter and probably also one a little bit heavier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on down onto my back. Make sure you guys can see me here. And so option to lay with your head on the ball. And we're working the core here as well, obviously, because, things are a little bit unsteady with that ball underneath us. So we're trying to hold steady as we do a chest press. So I'm going to bring my elbow down towards the ball and then push up. Inhale down, exhale, push up. Now, you can keep doing them just like this. If you want to add a little more challenge and a little more work for your core, you'll roll back. Remember, keep going in with all of these exercises I'm showing you. I want you to do about 10 to 15. Inhale. And I talk the whole time. I'm not going to count. So that's up to you, or you can just trust that I usually do about the same amount on each side. I'm starting with my weaker arm. I've got my right hand behind my head to support me. I'm going to do 3 more. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, something to point out. A lot of times what I see people do when they've got weight in their hands or using a band. So when I was doing those, you probably couldn't see my wrist. But what I don't want to see is this. You don't want to have your wrist cocked back like this or your hand cocked back like this with weight in it, because it puts a whole lot of stress on the wrist, okay? So let's do that on the other side. So coming into either my tabletop all the way down onto the head, I'm going to do 15, or walking back a little bit so that ball's kind of on the lower and the middle back. And always trying to stabilize the legs, the hips, and the spine and the shoulders. Exhale. Strong exhale, navel to spine. 3, 2, 1. Oh, those are harder than I thought they were going to be. Woo! Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is a Romanian deadlift. And on my other videos, we've done traditional deadlifts with the knees bent, coming up like that. These are Romanian deadlifts. We've done single leg Romanian deadlifts where we balance on one leg. So Romanian deadlifts are done with legs straight, and it's very, very important that you watch your form on these for your back. You don't want to lock your knees back. Don't hyperextend the knees. The legs are going to be straight, and you want to feel like you're engaging your quads. Okay, but this is going to work your hamstrings and your glutes quite a bit. I'm going to go heavier on weight here. If you don't have weight, so you can hold 2 dumbbells, you can put a band underneath your feet and do the same movement. So we've done kettlebell swings, right? This is kind of like a slowed down kettlebell swing. So I'm going to start standing, and I've got the weight really close to my legs, and I'm going to slide the weight down my legs. My hips are going to go back. My weight is in my heels. What I'm not doing is this with my chin, and I'm not doing this with my back. So keep my back straight. Also, I'm not doing this. So shoulders back, and then stand up. Okay, so inhale going down, exhale coming up. So as soon as you start to come back up, really brace your spine with your core. Engage your core. A lot of times I just say navel to spine. And that is not totally accurate because it's more than just your navel. You're hugging in 3-dimensionally all around the spine, the front, the sides, and the back. Inhale, exhale. Again, my knees are not locked. My spine is straight. Inhale. You should not feel this in your lower back. The other thing you don't want to do is go below your hips, okay? So you want to be slightly above your hips with your shoulders. Inhale, going down. This is where I would want maybe a little bit more weight. Okay, 10 to 15 of those. All right. And then rest, drink water as you need to. Okay, so the next movement I'm going to do is going to be a front shoulder raise, okay, like this. And I'm going to add on an alternating reverse lunge with my legs. If that's too much, just go with the arms. So what I'm going to do here, because my soup cans are too light, and I only have one of each kettlebell. So I'm going to hold on to one kettlebell, and as I step back, I'm going to bring my arms up. Now what's important, watch this, is I'm not doing this, right? I'm doing straight wrists. Okay, so watch your wrists. And I might actually, hold on to the bull by the horns, as they say. So, lunge back, raise up. If you're doing the lunge, drop your back knee straight down to the ground. And exhaling as my arms come up, because that's where it's the hardest for me, is to bring those arms up without bringing the shoulders up. I'll do a few from the front. 2 more. Okay. So, as with a lot of movement, when the arms come up and you get tired, the body wants to bend back. So keep that core engagement. Go lighter on weight. Maybe don't come up quite as high with your arms. In making this video in Oregon, where there are extreme amounts of fires happening and extreme amounts of smoke in the air. I'm definitely feeling a little more winded. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel working out inside. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a bob and a weave. So this is, I love doing a bunch of boxing stuff. So the bob and the weave you can do without weight, and the motion is this. So this is going to really, it should work your core, and obviously you're working your legs because you're kind of doing a little bit of a down and up, but it's a lot of core strength. So from the side, what you're imagining is that someone's gonna punch you and you're gonna duck and come up on the other side and duck and come up on the other side. Okay, so if you want to make that a little more challenging for your core, you can hold some weight at your chest. Okay, so get back so I can see my legs. As I come up, I'm gonna lift that heel on the opposite leg. Down and up, down and up. So it kind of feels like, maybe looks like, feels like you're drawing kind of like a U shape with the body. Down and up, down and up. We're gonna do some cardio stuff. This might get your heart rate pumping if you add or increase the speed. All right, I'm gonna take a break. Okay. And with the cardio stuff, you can go more than 15 repetitions if that feels okay in your body. We'll be doing stuff without weight. Okay, so we're gonna do a static lunge and a shoulder raise, or we'll move with our lunge, but we're still gonna stay stationary. We're gonna stay on one side. So from the side, it's gonna look like this. So you can either hold the lunge, you can even just hold a split stance, and the arms are gonna come out to the side like this. Now I can also add a moving stationary lunge. So from the side, working the shoulders again, or from the front, it's gonna look like this. Okay, so the arms come out to the side like what do you call it? Snow angels, right? Out and up. Don't let your shoulders come up by your ears. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do with my band. Doesn't require a lot of weight. Okay, so I'm gonna hold my band like this, not like this. Very important. All right. So I'm gonna lunge and the arms come up. Obviously take more of the band into your grip if that feels too easy for you. But we're kind of doing 2 sets. I'd say maybe do about 8 or 10 on this side. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch legs because I know I'm gonna get tired. Okay, right foot forward. Perfect posture, right? Not hunched forward, shoulders down the back. Keep going. Watch your wrists. Nothing else moving except for the arms. Probably starting to feel them about now. I know I am. Oh, I forgot to add my lunge. Thinking so much about my shoulders right now. Woo! 2 more. Oh my goodness. You want to go to that point usually where the last 1 or 2 feels like really, really, really hard, but it's not going to throw you out of form. You've still got really good positioning in your body and good stability. Okay, so let's take a little break from the arms for a second. And we're going to do some side kicks now. So from the front, it's going to look like this. So the knee comes up first. I'm going to lean slightly to the other side, and I'm going to kick through the heel. Okay, so I'm going to lift the knee, lean, kick through the heel. From the side, kick. So you should be able to see the bottom of my foot. Kick. Okay, so we're going to do them all on one side. If you're feeling really wobbly, just put a few fingers on a wall and use that to help stabilize you, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I just did a few on my right. I'm gonna start kicking. I'm gonna stand on my right leg and kick with my left. So I'm gonna lift the knee. I'm gonna push out through the heel. Now, you can go ahead and begin. You can tap the foot down in between or keep the leg up for a little more challenge. Push through the heel. So working that outer hip, push. So this is where you want to imagine pushing that, kicking that door in. If you've got a punching bag, woo, that would be awesome. I'm trying to think of something in your house that you could make gentle contact with without hurting yourself. Nothing super hard. Not really kicking a door in. All right. Woo, one more. Okay. All right. Kicking with the right. Pick up the knee. Kick. Kick. So working on balance here. Outer hip strength to kick. And then that left hip should feel strong and stable. Anytime we're balancing on one leg, you want to think about hugging that outer hip in. I feel less stable on this side. My weaker left hip, so always modify as you need to. 4 more. Okay, getting that heart rate up just a little bit. Okay, so next what we're gonna do are wood chops. This is one of my favorite ones to do. And so the motion here, again, is a twisting motion. So this is what it looks like without any weight. So you can do this holding onto a block. I'm gonna hold on to some weight. So twist low, twist high, twist low, twist high. And a lot of times people say, I can't really feel these. The goal is to stay stable here. So you're not doing any bending this way. You're only rotating. And you're rotating the hips with the chest as well. Okay, you'll feel it as you add on weight. I like to do these in the gym with like a cable pull. You feel those a lot, okay? All right, so I'm gonna grab my lighter kettlebell and I'm gonna go ahead and begin. So I'm gonna start by twisting left low, right high, low, high. And then guess what? In between sets, we're gonna take a little break between sides. I say break. We're gonna do some cardio. So again, about 10 to 15. Think about keeping that core nice and strong, like you've got a corset around you, tight, tight. All right. Let's do some burpees, okay? So I'm gonna say, let's do, I don't know, shoot for 8 to 10 burpees. Okay, so if you don't know what burpees are, you're basically, you can add a jump, you lower, you bring your hands down and lower your body all the way down to the ground, and then pop yourself back up and stand, or you can step back, step forward, stand up, okay? Either way. Ready? Go. As you're lowering down, keep your core super strong. So remember that includes your hips, your spine, and your shoulders. The other thing I forgot to mention with push-ups and with stuff like this is the neck. I see a lot of people like this and drop their head first. And the head weighs a lot. try to keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do one more. Okay. Woo. Catch your breath. The only thing that motivates me to keep going is knowing that you're watching me. Okay. All good, all good. Okay, back to my wood chops. Okay, so this time I'm gonna swing low to the right, high to the left. Ooh, my arms are getting tired. You can do this with a band too, right? Keep going. I swear I'm not using this as an excuse to stop. I could put it under my foot and twist this way. Just watch your wrist. I'm gonna do one more. Okay. All right. Let's do some mountain climbers. Okay, so mountain climbers. I'm gonna go push-up position, shoulders over the wrists, not behind the wrists, okay? Shoulders stable, broaden the upper back, and then jog the feet, okay? Don't let the shoulders go behind the wrists like this because you're not working your core anymore. You're basically just working your hip flexors. Keep breathing, keep moving, stable in the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, what do we got? 27 minutes, perfect. Okay, although I do talk a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and come down and finish up with some core work and some stretching. So I am going to do a pullover. I just want to make sure I didn't forget. Oh, Turkish get-ups. Let's do a couple rounds of Turkish get-ups and then we will do a little core and stretching. So that pink weight is even too heavy for this. So I'm gonna go with my trusty Campbell's soup can, and I'm gonna talk you through these. If you're super familiar with them, go ahead and go like 5 on each side. So I didn't even practice these, so I hope I can remember how to do them. So I'm gonna start with my left knee bent, my left arm straight up in the air, and shoulder stable, and my right arm out to the side. Now I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on my hand the whole time. So I'm gonna roll over and come up to the right elbow, right hand, lift the hip, bring your right knee underneath you, come up to a kneeling position, come up to standing. And then right knee goes back, right hand, right leg slides through, hip comes down to the elbow and to the back. Okay, so roll to the right, up to the elbow, up to the hand, hip up, right knee, kneel, stand. Right knee, right hand, right leg through, onto your back. Okay, I'm going to do one more on this side. And then I'll switch. So extend your left leg out, left arm out to the side, right arm up, eyes on the can. All right, roll to the left, up to the hand, lift the hip, slide the knee through, kneel, stand. Left knee, left hand, left leg through, hip, down to the back. do one more. Roll up, knee, stand, and come down. My dog Addie's like, what are you doing in here? Hi, baby. Okay, so I'm going to do one more exercise that will work the back and the core. And I'm going to grab my lighter-ish weight. Okay, so 2 ways to do this is straight legs. Now, I'm going to show you really quick without the weight. I'm going to have the weight overhead, and what you don't want to do is this, where your back arches away from the floor. Keep it as flat as you can, especially as you sit up. So we're going to just sit up and come back down, sit up and come back down. The other way you can do it is bring the legs up too. And you can certainly do what I'm doing without any weight, right? Okay, especially if you start to feel this in your low back. So straight arms and come down. So add the knees if you want, definitely more challenging. Do what works best for your back. I'm terrible at those balancing on the hip things. I think I say that every time, but it's true. Inhale and then exhale. I'm going to do 3 more. 2. 1. And relax. All right. I'm going to come into a bridge pose and just stretch through the front of the body. Maybe clasp your hands underneath you. Interlace the fingers together if that's available. Slide your shoulders underneath you more. And every time you breathe into the front of your body. Lift your hips high. And then lower your hips all the way back down. And lengthen through your legs. Stretch your arms over your head. And exhale. And sit up again. Then come onto your hands and your knees. And stretch your right leg back behind you and just rock back and forth a few times. Stretching through the calf, you can lift that left knee up as well. And then roll over onto your left side, kind of a variation on side plank. And I want you to really lean back and push your hips forward. And then come back onto your hands and your knees and stretch your left leg back. Maybe pick up that right knee. And then roll over onto your right side. Reach back. So again, here I'm just trying to really open up and stretch through the front of the body, the front of the hips, the shoulders, the chest. Come back to your hands and your knees. And we'll go back to downward facing dog. And look up at your hands and walk your hands up to your feet up to your hands. Stretch your arms up over your head. And as you exhale, take your right elbow and wrap it under your left. And either bring your hands to your shoulders or bring your palms together. Lift your elbows up and round through your spine. And now arms up. And bring opposite. I think I did left. Or right. So left under right. Breathe into your upper back. And release. arms wide. Now I'm gonna go over to a wall, and so it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna put my hand on a wall, coming straight out from my chest, and I'm gonna turn away from my arm. So you're getting that nice stretch through the front of the shoulder now, the chest. Breathe deeply into the upper right side of your lungs especially. And then do that on the left. So turn away, breathe into your left shoulder. And release. And take your arms up over your head. Bend your left elbow. Grab your elbow with your right hand. And now draw that elbow back. So you're feeling that stretch. And then bend over to the right. And come back to center. And now bend your right elbow. Pull it back and bend to the left. Come back up. Let's get a standing quad stretch. So you might go back over to a wall. Bend your left knee. The other thing you can do is like put your foot on a chair. If this is too much on your knees to bend it this deeply. So to grab the foot and to pull the heel in. So make sure a lot of times when we do this, the leg wants to go out like this. So draw the knees closer together. And then a lot of times the back wants to bend a whole lot like this. So keep your belly pulled in, knees together. Left shoulder back. And I'll do that on the other side. And release. And then a little standing hip stretch. So I'm going to cross my right ankle, or my left ankle over my right thigh and sit down. Looks like this from the side. So you can go to a wall and use that to help you balance. And switch. Hips go back. My spine is straight. It's not hyperextended, and it's also not rounded. Arms up over your head and bring your hands down and squat down. So squat down as low as it feels comfortable for you. And I'm going to end the video here in Malasana. This is a really great way to sit, a good posture to take regularly to help open up through the hips, spine is straight. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and hopefully the smoke will clear soon, and I will see you in person one of these days. Namaste.